Thanks for joining us. This is the second session of Self-Defense in Seconds. I'm joined here by Brad Pohl, who's a professional MMA fighter, and we're going to go over some techniques today. First off, the headlock.
Yes.
Very formidable. It always scares me to think about being put into a headlock.
Yeah, I mean, it's a position, you know, in those situations, it's pretty common to end up in a headlock right here. You know, a lot of people use this, you know, to take opponent to the ground, to, you know, punch them right here. It's a very good position. It's a very controlling position. First thing Innae will want to do is, like she's already done, is step behind me. Her hips are close. She's gonna hug right here on my side, and then she can either grab the material if I have pants on or something like that, or right behind my knees. What I love about this one is it doesn't take muscle. It takes, you know, lifting with your legs. I'm quite a bit heavier than Innae, and she can dump me just fine. She pops and dumps.
Thank you very much, Brad, for that. So that's what happens if you are in a headlock. One way to get out of the situation. Stay with us. We'll have another technique in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're here with Brad Pohl, professional MMA fighter. And Brad, you were mentioning that a lot of attackers can come from the behind, and so you don't see them coming. Yeah.
You know, they can, you know, attack you from behind. A big one, you know, of kind of something that ends the fight real quick is chokes.
Oh, right.
You know, they may come behind you and right away go for the choke. Okay. The first thing we always do is we get our airway, because obviously I could put her out in 2 to 3 seconds right here if I wanted to.
That's for sure.
So she has to get her airway. She has to pull my arm down and look into the crook of my elbow, right into the bend of my elbow, and tuck her chin. This way, if I squeeze, I'm gonna hurt her, but I'm not gonna choke her. Okay, she can still, you know, breathe right here. The next thing Innae will wanna do is step behind me, kind of like we did on the headlock. She blocks my leg right here. Now what she's gonna do is she's gonna turn her body towards my elbow and dip her shoulder right here. Okay, so she turns, she dips, boom, throws me off.
But sometimes you said the attacker may not always just sort of let it go. Once they see you moving, they're going to try to adjust as well.
Exactly. You know, one thing a lot of people will do here, Innae gets her airway, like that's first and foremost. She doesn't have airway, she has nothing. She steps behind. When you step behind like this, what a lot of people will do is they'll transition this to that headlock like we just did. Well, we already know this defense. Steps behind, grabs my waist, lifts, dumps, and goes.
So now we were able to incorporate that first technique into this situation if someone's choking you. And as you mentioned, of course, the most important thing if someone is choking you is the airway. Thank you very much, Brad. Stay with us. We'll have more self-defense in seconds in just minutes. Thanks for joining us. We're here this morning with professional MMA fighter Brad Pohl. And Brad, we've been talking about self-defense, but you've said over and over again that there's one factor that everyone needs to have to properly defend themselves.
Absolutely. Awareness is number one. Just knowing your surroundings, knowing where you're at, who's around you. Be very aware of your surroundings. Not paranoid, but aware.
Definitely.
You know?
I think that's a good point. And you mentioned as well, well, I mean, someone was walking by themselves. Do you think that it's always important to be with somebody, or are there things that you can do when you're alone? Yeah,
obviously, anytime you can be with somebody, we all know strength is in numbers, but we all catch ourselves by ourselves. So, you know, these things we're teaching are very key. You know, it doesn't hurt to take a little bit of a long way around if you know, you don't feel, use your gut. Typically, your gut is correct. Use your instincts. If you feel like the situation isn't right, then go the other direction. Get yourself into a program where you can consistently train this stuff. It's good to learn it, you know, once, but you'll forget it. I mean, that's the reality of it.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Brad, for those tips and that advice. Especially be aware in the community that we're in today. And stay with us. We'll have more news and weather straight ahead. Welcome to Self-Defense in Seconds. We're here with professional MMA fighter Brad Pohl. Brad, tell us where you're from.
I'm the owner of Primal Fighting Systems in Del Mar, Maryland.
And we're here to talk about self-defense. That's obviously very important. What are some important messages you want to get across in this area?
I think starting with self-defense, I think number one is awareness. I think, you know, if you're aware, it'll get you out of a lot of situations. But obviously, you know, you can't always avoid every situation that comes up. So awareness, number one. Number two is knowing how to defend yourself.
And that's what we're here for today. first off, you're gonna show me a couple techniques.
Yes.
2 today. Let's begin. Can you give me what are we gonna learn first?
The first one I want to go over is just some simple punch defense from a roundhouse punch. Okay. So first things first, you got to block the punch. You don't want to get hit or you get in trouble. So right here, Innae is just gonna, is gonna block the punch right there. Now we have simple T position. Right here, she blocked, she steps around. Right there. Now my arm is trapped. At this point, she has me tight. She can just release, push me away and run. Right there. And she goes. Perfect for self-defense. Next one, out of that same position, I hit Innae. She blocks, steps to the side, T position. Right there. She can take me to the ground, block my knee, my back knee right here, and twist. Put me on the ground. Right there. And she can run or she can punch me.
Let's show that one more time, just sort of a little bit faster, where if they're not just pushing the attacker away, they can sort of put them down again into, basically put them down on the ground. And we'll just do it in a quick motion so people can see how it works.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm here, I'm the attacker. All right, I go to punch Innae. She steps, blocks. Right there, I fall, and she runs, and she's safe.
That's great. That's a very simple technique. I figure I learned it within just a matter of seconds.
I'm going to show you a couple techniques where it doesn't matter about strength. It's just all about leverage and technique. So I'm the attacker, and I just knocked Innae down or whatever. She ended up on her back. She's scared. The first thing you do, because most attackers, 99% of them, are going to fall right into you. Right here. First thing Innae wants to do is wrist control. If she controls my wrists, I can't punch her. I can't really do anything at all. Okay? So we talked about fight or flight mentality.
If I want to flee, what do I do?
If she wants to flee, first thing she can do is put her feet right up on my hips. And just like doing a leg press, just like you're trying to press 1,000 pounds of your legs, she's just going to kick as hard as she can and get out of there. Right there.
Right. I found to be very effective when you showed that to me, just to get out of the situation. Because I think a lot of women can rely on their leg power than their upper body power.
Women are very strong throughout the hips and the legs, and this is perfect. I'm trying to teach simple techniques that it doesn't require a lot of thought.
So is there one more addition to that you wanted to show us?
Absolutely. Same thing, starting in the same position. Innae ends up on her back. Okay, I'm the big bad attacker. I want to come in, and I'm trying to hit her or do whatever. She's controlling my wrist. Always control the wrist. The attacker's hands are what's going to do the damage. Okay, there's not a lot they're going to do anywhere else because most of them, attackers, they don't train. They don't know what they're doing. Okay, they just think they're tough. So right here, she's controlling the wrist. What she can do, she can slide her knee. She can slide her knee right here, right in my belly, hook the foot back here. Okay, this is what's going to be called a scissor sweep. She's able to reverse this position. I'm right here. She's going to pull me towards her, and she's going to sweep, boom, right there, and she can run. Or if the anger comes out in her, which is always very possible.
Which doesn't happen for me.
She puts her knee across the middle. What she can do, she can pull me towards her, she can sweep and come right on top. And right here, I'm in trouble.
Those were some great techniques. Thank you so much for showing those, Brad.
Thank you.
We have an example today of jobs that are going to be not only saved, but created from the dollars that came from that decision and from that leadership.
More than $16 million is going towards upgrading and expanding the wastewater facilities. Congressman Frank Cradaville says the project will let the town grow.